Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought we do a tutorial on how I do my scrapbook pages. To start off, I do all my scrapbook layouts on my Silhouette. I do have the Silhouette Cameo 3 and I am working on a MacBook Air 2019. To start off, I always have my base I'm gonna lay out on my Silhouette, and my paper does measure 11.5 by 11.5. So what I usually like to do, I like to make scene layouts. So I usually like to keep my background paper blue. So I'm going to play with it a little bit. Now the actual colors that I am putting on here, it doesn't really matter because most likely I'm going to use paper that I use from craft stores. This is just to get a general idea of how my layout's going to come out. So today I thought we would create a B layout. The SVGs files that I'm using for today are from Miss Kate Cuttables. So I already downloaded the SVGs files. I purchased them and downloaded them. Now I'm going to show you how I actually bring them down to my Silhouette. To start off, I do have these three at the Flying Bee, Busy Bee Title, and Beehive. So let's start with the Beehive. As you can see, it gives you many options. What I am going to pick to drag out to my Silhouette, I'm going to use the Beehive Apart. And I am also going to drag in the Together. As you can see, this is very easy. This is why I really enjoy the SVGs files from Miss Kate Cuttables. Anyone who's a beginner should definitely start off with them because it's so easy. It's not like the other files where you have to put little parts together. This, if you ungroup it, you could separate all the little parts, and that's pretty neat. I'm going to my arrow here to reverse everything I just did. Or you could ungroup it and put everything together like this. And so forth. But I really like to use the one that's already together because I could ungroup it and group it as needed. Now let's go ahead and bring out the other ones. So that was the Beehive. Now let's go ahead and drag in the Busy Bee Title. Again, I'm going to use the Apart and the Together. Now my last one is the Flying Bee. Now I'm going to go ahead and exit this. Alrighty. Now I'm going to drag in my Apart and move them over here because I'm actually going to work with the ones that are grouped. So my idea for today was to go ahead and make a bee layout, and I don't really know yet exactly what I want to do, but I do have a general idea. To start off, usually I usually like to add a couple of layers to my layouts. To start off, I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this paper, and I'm going to size it down to about let's say maybe 5.5. It should be good. And I'm going to go ahead and change color, Usually when I'm also making scene layouts, I do this when I want to make it look like I have grass at the bottom. But let's see what color. Again, this is not the colors I'm going to pick. I do sometimes print out my back paper, but today I'm just using as an example. Now next, I do want to add a border here. So I did actually already took out my borders. Uh, this is actually how I have my borders. Please don't freak out. I know there's a lot of people out there who have their borders organized. I am not one of them, and I'm actually okay with that. So please, I know sometimes people wonder where I got things from, and I might not always know. So lately, the one I've been using a lot is actually this lace border. This is actually from the Silhouette store. Actually, all of these are, but I'm going to go ahead and use this one. So I did copy and I'm going to paste it over here. And I pretty much have my border size to the 11.5. That is usually my basic formula for my layouts. So now I actually want this behind this green paper. So I'm going to click on the green one and bring it to the front. I could bring it to the back or I could bring it to the front. There we go. Now I'm going to highlight everything and bring it to the back. That looks good. Now I think I do want this to be the center focus for my layout. And this actually looks very nice if I leave it like this. The only thing, I'm not too sure how small these bees are, and I'm not too sure how nice they'll cut out. So I'm actually going to make it bigger just to make it easier on myself. That looks pretty good. And my title, I think I need to resize it a little bit. Now I don't want this leaf to get lost, so I'm actually going to ungroup it and maybe bring it over here. Now I'm going to group it. This is where I group and ungroup my items. Now I'm going to bring it back down here. That looks good. Now for my photo mats or photo frames, I'm going to go to my tags files. Again, please do not freak out. This is just where I have them. Again, I just have an idea of what I want. I'm kind of winging it. Oh, I could use this one. This one's actually also from Miss K Cuttables. It actually comes like this, and you can separate it with the layers. Since I use this one quite often, I already have it here how I like it. So I'm going to go ahead and copy it and bring it here. Now it currently measures 5.6 by 5.6. And everything new that you bring to this area, it's going to be on top of everything else. So I'm actually going to have to highlight it and bring it to the back. Oops, I forgot to highlight. There we go. Because I want this one to be on top of my photo tag, my photo frame. And I'm going to duplicate it because I do think I want two of them. And I'm going to go ahead and repeat my actions and bring it to the back. Oh, that looks cute. Now this bee, I already have 3 bees here, so I just want to see where I want them. And I kind of want them the same size. I don't want it to look quite off. Yeah, I think I'll leave it down here. So now I'll go ahead and duplicate it and maybe also put it on this side. But I'm actually going to right click it and flip it. Yeah, I think that looks nice. Now I think it looks a little bit plain. I also had ideas since bees like little flowers. I took out my flower file and maybe let's see what I have. And actually all these flowers are from Miss Kate Cuttables. I think she has some beautiful files. Let me see. I just really don't know how I would put them. Actually, I'm going to ungroup it. Let's see. What do you guys think? That looks nice, I think. It's simple, but pretty cute. Alrighty. Now, you could either print this as a printing cut or you could piece it together. Let me go ahead and show you how you would. If you were to do a printing cut, you would just bring your image over here and you would make sure you had your registration marks, which I do. But I'm actually going to be doing a paper piecing for this one. So you would duplicate all your images and so forth. And I do need to remove my registration mark. So I'm going to go right over here, page setup. I'm going to go to the third square and remove my registration marks. I did want to say that I don't have the latest updated uh, update on the Silhouette. I know there was a new update recently with when the Silhouette 4 came out. I actually did do the update, but I hated the changes it came with, so I removed it and started using the one from before the update. I think it was horrible and I just didn't like it. So what we need to do is separate the layers. So I'm going to ungroup it, and I would bring all my dark brown colors here. You're pretty much going to group all your colors together. So when you put your 12 by 12 sheet of dark brown, you take advantage of, actually, this is a different shade. Actually, I'm going to group these over here. Alrighty. So up here I would put a dark brown cardstock, and down here I would put a lighter shade. When I'm getting ready to cut it, I would send it to the cutter, and I'm going to adjust my blades. I'm going to use, you know what, I hardly ever use my tool 1, so we're just going to work with tool 2. You're going to highlight everything and press cut. It just depends what kind of cardstock you use. I use my cardstock is from the open stock section at Hobby Lobby, so I already know that I'm going to use it at speed 3. My force will be 22, and the passes will just be 1. You would just, if it's glitter paper or really thick cardstock, you would put passes 2, speed 4, and you would move it up to 32. This is really thick cardstock or glitter paper. Speed 4, force 32, passes 2. But I'm just using regular, and I'll bring it down to 22, 1 pass. And as soon as everything's ready, you send it. Of course, I am not connected. Now I would come back and bring in my new colors. So on the top, I would put, this would be a very dark yellow, medium color yellow, light yellow, and so on. I would send it to the cutter, highlight everything, cut it, make sure my correct color cardstock is ready on my mat, and then send it. And you pretty much continue to do all that until you're until you pretty much got all your layout. And there you have it. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment with your question. Otherwise, I'll see you soon. Thank you so much. Bye for now.